Have you ever seen a movie and had a very strong reaction to it, and then you hear other people talk about the movie and you wonder, did we see the same thing? That's how I feel about Five Nights at Freddy's, which I consider to be one of the worst films I've seen in 2023. But despite my opinions, it's hard to avoid the headlines that show that this movie has broken box office records and seems to be resonating with fans. So let's dive in. For the uninitiated, Five Nights at Freddy's is based on the popular video game series of the same name. Like in the games, the movie focuses on the bizarre happenings in an abandoned family entertainment restaurant that has a striking resemblance to Chuck E. Cheese. The film's central character is Mike, played by Josh Hutcherson, who you might recognize from The Hunger Games. He's a down-on-his-luck mall security guard who is fired from his job when he beats up a mall-goer he mistakes for a kidnapper. A career counselor, played by Shaggy himself, Matthew Lillard, recommends he takes up a night shift doing security at the spooky Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Mike is reluctant to take up the job, but decides to go for it because he needs to be able to support his kid sister Abby, who he has legal custody over. Meanwhile, we learn that his aunt is in a legal battle with him over custody rights for Abby, and through a series of dream sequences, we catch glimpses of a traumatic moment in Mike's childhood in which another one of his siblings was kidnapped. Although it begins with a stereotypical scene where something terrible happens to a throwaway character we never see again, the movie takes its sweet time getting into the action. You'll sit through long moments of some convoluted family drama before we ever see much of the murderous team of animatronic characters we all came to see. And when they do show up, it's a bit underwhelming. The characters, which were created in partnership with Jim Henson's Creature Shop, just aren't that scary. I mean, really, the actual characters from Chuck E. Cheese are more unsettling than these guys. I understand that they most likely wanted the characters to resemble the designs from the games, perhaps they were wary of a Sonic situation happening, but I think they could have at least added some matted fur or some extra details to really amp up those horror elements. Also consider that in the games, we only see these characters when it's dark. Here they're out in the open. And one departure from the games that I was especially surprised by was there really aren't any major jump scares in this movie. Now, I'm not normally a big fan of jump scares, but that's the thing I associate with the video games. Isn't that kind of the brand here? In the absence of scares, you'd think there would at least be some laughs. Recent horror hits like Megan have demonstrated that a little dark humor can go a long way. But no, the film where one of the characters is an animatronic chicken holding a cupcake decides it wants to take itself seriously. And the plot does it no favors. Between the crappy dialogue and an underdeveloped police officer character that's basically a cut and paste copy of every horror movie archetype, I thought I was watching something that was straight to Tubi instead of a major blockbuster from Blumhouse Productions. To say that I was underwhelmed by this film is an understatement. I'm glad that the people involved with this movie have found financial success, but I know that means we'll most likely get sequels, and that's the only thing about Five Nights at Freddy's I find truly frightening. I give it 1.5 out of 5 stars. You can see it in theaters or stream it on Peacock. Or don't.